I think the most important thing with, let's say, per se, the average person is finding out a nutritional program or nutritional plan that works for them. What I've found in my years of doing this is not everybody's the same. Everything has to be done on an individualistic type of basis. What that means very simply is you have to take the individual, look at what their situation is, and come up with a plan that's going to work for them. The most important thing is not try and take the individual and conform them to the plan, but take the plan and conform it to the individual. Everyone is different. Everyone has different lifestyles, different work habits, and different training habits. Not everybody's the professional bodybuilder or the professional athlete. So therefore, a lot of other things come into play. Lifestyles, whatever, their social habits. So what we need to do is we need to find what works for that person. How do we do that? We do that very simply by doing a consultation, finding out more about the individual, more about what their lifestyle is like, and then we can at least have a baseline of where we can start with that person. And the most important thing is to have an open line of communication with your, let's say, client or trainee, and therefore you can find out the things that are working for them or not working for them. Not everybody's the same. You have to be willing to change, but the most important thing, excuse me, is to find the plan that works for the person.
Now you obviously you've got a lot of professional bodybuilding friends and such, and I mean the gamut in terms of some people are genetically gifted.
Sure.
And they have training diets where they're geared.
Well,
toward
hypothetically
that.
speaking, I mean, let's take a professional athlete like Victor Martinez. He was blessed with God-given genetics. Unfortunately, probably no matter what Victor touches or what Victor eats is going to work. The average man is not like that. So what you're going to have to do is it's going to have to be a little bit more of a process to find out these things that work for that person. Because the way in which he processes food, the way in which he or she processes food, the way in which they respond to training, these are all things that need to be put into, let's say, the mixing pot. I will use Victor Martinez again, who's an awesome athlete. That's what Victor does. He has the ability to sleep 10 and 12 hours a day. He has the ability to eat every 2 hours. He has the ability to have steamed fish and steamed broccoli. But you take the gentleman that let's say is a UPS driver, who's on the road 8 hours. You can't say, well, you got to do this, this, and this, because it's just not going to work for him. So what we need to do is find out what is working, what he's accessible to, what foods he's accessible to. He might say, hey, you know what? I pass 20 different fast food chains every day. What can I do? Well, we can show you a way to do that. Yes. Burger King has the Whopper, but it also has a grilled chicken breast sandwich.
And salads.
Yeah. Right. There's going to be sacrifices, and if there's a will, there's a way. What that means very simply is, when you order that chicken breast sandwich, you can say, hey, I'd like normal bread. When you order that salad, you can get the oil and vinegar instead of the blue cheese. So it's making those correct choices in the foods that you choose. And, therefore, that is going to help that person get to where they need to go. You can't say to a guy that's been eating pizza, McDonald's, and ice cream all day long, hey, you know what, today you're going to start eating six meals of steamed fish. It just doesn't work that way. So the most important thing is taking all this information and compiling it about the individual, and then what you can do is you can set up a program that's based on him or her that's going to work for them.
But now, this person, they could potentially train and compete in the Gulf Coast Championships or something of the sort.
The great thing about, let's say, bodybuilding or bodybuilding enthusiasts is that we never really know the full genetic potential of certain people until we strip off all of that stuff that's on top. And I'm being kind about that. The fat and the water. I've seen guys that have been obese their whole life get on a diet, and wow, it's amazing. I had a friend years ago, and I'm going way back, who was legitimately 55 pounds overweight. And I'm going back to the early 80s. Decided he wanted to lose weight. Didn't go to the gym for bodybuilding purposes. Got all that stuff off. Wound up winning Mr. World and Mr. Universe. You know, the amazing thing about the human body is we still really don't know what its potential is. It's an amazing piece of machinery. It can do many things. We need to listen to it, we need to respect it, and we need to take care of it, you know? And what happens is when we can actually get ourselves going in a direction where we are taking care of ourselves nutritionally and physically and feeling good about ourselves, it opens a lot of doors. You know, it may open the door to being the Gulf Coast champion, and before you know it, the USA champion.
Hey Beverly, who is this?
This is my husband's competitor's daughter.
Oh, she's cute.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, this is quite a mix. You do everything.
Yeah.
You prep for shows and train folks and babysit.
And babies. Huh. Say hi. You can say hi.
Just